I think it was dope that your dad had built y'all a basketball court in your backyard. And for me, I had a barbershop in my garage. And I think it's important when you're kind of in a city like Chicago, that there's a lot of outside influences. And your dad was able to give you a foundation to work on your game. How were you protecting your dream while being in a place like Chicago?
Yeah, I've obviously been in Chicago, living in Inglewood. You see a lot. I've seen anything that you can really imagine, and also like heard about it. Had friends who dealt with things, and did things or whatever. So, one, my Uncle Jim was a safe haven for us, and we had I always played with older guys. So, I was in high school, but playing in the men's league and having guys who I still talk to today, having those guys around that kind of also protected, us as well. But my dad and my grandfather building that court in the backyard, it was good for us because that outside influence, when you're at school and your friends are doing things, and when you through high school, you're getting through high school freshman year, sophomore year, you're trying to, fit in and figure out where you are in the social status of high school. And you never want to in Chicago, we call it being lame. Oh, that guy's, he's corny, is he lame?
Yeah.
You never want to be that guy. And at that time, I wore glasses. I was super skinny, like a nerd. And so you kind of deal with that. But then, having that basketball court, when I started taking basketball a little bit more seriously, it was good for me to have because I didn't have to worry about going to the park, where a lot of outside influence was going on, or things that, my family and my dad and my parents didn't necessarily want me to be around. So we were able to have some of our friends come to our house and play basketball in the backyard in a more safe environment. And that kind of I think turned out, I know it turned out being great for us because none of, me or my sisters were able to fall victim of our environment, the things that we, seen or things that was going on around us. So, I always tell my pops, we definitely appreciate that because who knows, without that, we could be playing basketball somewhere else and then something could have happened, God forbid, and could have went a whole different route in our lives.